Well, Dr. Phil asked this question.
Is monogamy dead? Is marriage a thing of the past? If it is, we've got issues.
Is monogamy dead? Is marriage a thing of the past? Boy, that's a good subject for us. He's got a few people on the show. He's got a panel of women that talk about how they can't find a man. And then he brings on some polyamorous people. Boy, I thought this is interesting. Hey, if you're liking this content, give me a like, subscribe, give me a comment below. Let's get to it.
Ladies, how we doing?
Good.
Good to see you. So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm just curious, especially as a newlywed, is marriage dead?
Dating in this day and age is terrible. And so the idea of trying to find someone to make that commitment to is overwhelming. And I'm not sure if I want to get married.
I think historically women had to be married. And I think that's starting to change now. And I recently bought a house. I'm 24, I'm single. And so I don't think that marriage is essential for me.
Is that something?
Now these girls, it's weird the the dynamic here, but we got this woman, she's 24, single, and she doesn't know if she's ever gonna get married. Well, I mean, my goodness, like you're what are you, 100 pounds overweight or something? Like, I mean, listen, she might be a nice person and whatnot, but come on, like you're I just bought a house at 20. Now that's pretty good. 24. I mean, man, when I was 24, I was working in the oil field making a lot of money and I didn't buy a house. So I wonder like, boy, I wonder what this woman does here. But anyway, let's see what the slim, attractive woman on the end. I want to hear her story. I'm like, what's she got to say here? Here we go.
You're agreeing with?
I do agree with that. I got married at 19.
Okay.
I had that pressure of getting married, and I did, but I have been in it.
She's Courtney, 37 years old. She got married at 19. Oh, okay. So the story is different for the slim, attractive woman at the end. She gets married at 19. These girls, oh, I can't find the right man, blah, blah. Well, gee, I wonder why. Let's, but that's okay. She's married at 19. Let's hear the rest of her story.
I got married at 19.
Okay.
I had that pressure of getting married, and I did, but I have been in a long-term relationship. We talk about marriage sometimes, but it's not a priority in our relationship. A lot of us come from broken homes, and that's what we know, and there's a fear behind marriage.
Okay, so she got married at 19 and now she's in a relationship where they talk about marriage sometimes. So, translation is I got married at 19. I figured out I didn't like that guy that much, so I divorced him and now I'm in another relationship. Why? Because I'm a slim, attractive woman and I can get something better if I feel like it. Here's a translation for you there. Now, I don't think she ever goes into the full story, but I mean, come on, we all know what's going on here. The other two, they can't find anybody like you. Now, hey, I feel bad. I mean, yeah, that's bad. But we're going to see why they can't find anybody either. Now, if we listen on, we'll see why they can't find anybody. And as you can guess, the standards are a little too high for them. Let's keep going.
Having children within a marriage important to you?
I think that if I could be married and have a kid, that'd be great. But it's also something that I'm prepared to do by myself later down the road.
Is polyamory something that's...
Whoa. Okay. So, hey, if I can't find the right man, I'll just go on down to the sperm bank, bingo, bango. I'll have a child on my own. Now, is this a growing trend? I don't know if this is something that's just maybe if the women have a network that they all subscribe, maybe Oprah's talking about it. I don't know, but maybe this is a growing thing because I've got somebody in my own family, extended family, that did this. That got to be in their 40s and said, "Well, I haven't found a man." Well, actually, she had a man. She divorced him. He wasn't good enough. She thought she'd find a better one. She never did. So she got into her 40s and said, "Well, I want to have a baby." And so she went down to the sperm bank and did it. And it was like, me and my wife were like, "Whoa, okay, all right." This sounds like a growing trend, though. This girl, hey, if I can't find somebody, and she may not. I mean, the woman on the end there. I mean, objectively, scale of 1 to 10. If we were just going to go off of looks, maybe a 3. I don't know. Hey, give me a comment below. 3. I don't know. What do you think here as far as looks go? Now, she may be the kindest, most wonderful person ever. That would raise the score certainly. But if we're just going off of looks, 3. I don't know.
Gaining popularity in this generation?
In my personal life, I haven't seen it, but I have seen it on social media.
Oh yeah, on TikTok, I see there's this one throuple that always comes up on my page.
Yeah.
I definitely am monogamous in my relationships, but it seems to be more and more women are maybe getting out of a relationship. Maybe the dating game is.
Wait a minute. Wait, hold on a second now. She's monogamous in her relationships. Notice that's plural. I'm monogamous in my relationships. Let me translate that for you. I'm a serial monogamous. I love that term, serial monogamy, meaning, hey, I'm with you until I'm not, then I'm done and moving on to somebody else. So are you really monogamous? Monogamy is I commit to somebody my entire life and they are my man for these women, right? Now she's a serial monogamous. All right, there, let's go.
Too intimidating for them.
Oh, Chris, have you ever been on a dating app?
No,
It's
not.
so bad.
Is it horrible?
It's horrible. It's awful. Like,
And it takes romance out of it. Like when your first interaction with someone is through a message versus meeting them face to face.
So maybe marriage.
It takes romance out of it. Well, I mean, this lady in the middle, man, I don't know. Maybe give her on a scale of 1 to 10 for attractiveness. She might be a 2. I don't know. I mean, I hate to be uncharitable, but man, I mean, if a 5 is average, like, I mean, you're down there. So are you going to do that well on dating apps? No, you're not going to do that well, I don't think.
Nice.
I mean, I hate to be the bearer of bad news here. Somebody give me a comment below. I don't know.
Maybe marriage isn't dead. Maybe romance is dead.
Yes, we need an overhaul on romance for sure.
yes.
Romance is dead. And women killed it. Romance is dead. And women killed it. Here, the slim, attractive woman on the end, she's like, yes, romance is dead. The serial monogamous on the yes, I'm monogamous in all my relationships. She thinks the romance is dead. Okay. All right. Now we're getting a picture of what's happening in the modern marriage market here from the female versions of Mo, Larry, and Curly here.
Absolutely. Yes.
Well, welcome, Chris Harrison. Did anything surprise you when you sat down with Abigail, Rebecca, and Courtney?
What surprised me is almost the despair of, like I said at the end there, maybe marriage isn't dead, but romance is. In my vast experience on the back.
The despair. Oh my goodness, the despair is it's just terrible for these poor women. Just the despair. And you have in the background, is monogamy dead? Yes, it could be because women killed it. We see at the end the slim, attractive woman. What is she? She's a serial monogamous. She's a serial monogamous. She's monogamous until the bigger, better deal comes along. I'm fairly sure that's how her life is played out here because at 19 I was married and that guy wasn't good enough. Okay. All right.
That's where I started to ask the contestants who are beautiful, intelligent, successful, just like these 3 women, why are you here?
Hold on a minute. Just like they're beautiful, intelligent, and successful. Okay, well, I don't know how successful they are. I don't know how intelligent they are. I can tell you they're not that beautiful. Okay, even the slim, attractive woman on the end, I don't know, give her like a 6 or maybe a 7. I mean, shit, if you saw her on the street, you wouldn't be like, whoa, oh my god. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Like, why do we just lie to women? Oh, these women, yes, they are intelligent, beautiful. But come on. Oh my goodness. Do we do that to men? When we have a panel of men, we got Mo, Larry, and Curly on the panel here, like literally. And we say, yes, these handsome, intelligent men, attractive, blah, blah. No, nobody says that. They're just like, yep, we got three ding dongs here we're talking to. Why can't they find a woman? Well, of course, because they're not good enough. That's why they can't find one.
And they said, do you know how bad it is out there? And that romance and dating has changed. The apps have made it so easy. It's like we're at a buffet and we can grab what we want and discard what we want. And it's right at our fingertips. They haven't seen successful marriages. A lot of these Kids come from broken homes. They haven't seen how romance and love actually works. And the idea of maybe the American dream is unattainable now. That you can't buy the house. You can't get the white picket fence and the dog and the 2 kids. It's not as easy as it was.
Well, they're certainly not trying as much. So
It's not as easy as it was. This overweight woman in the middle, she's 24 and bought herself a house. Like, what? It doesn't sound like it's that hard. At 24, you can go out and buy your own house. I don't know what she does for a job, but okay. Anyway.
Abigail, do you think that this dream can be fulfilled?
I don't think it's unattainable. I just think it is harder than it once was.
Abigail, it's harder than it once was. Now I'm just looking at this girl's wearing a sleeveless shirt. Her arms are literally bigger than my arms, and I'm a 200-pound male. Like, I can bench press my own body weight. I can deadlift my own body weight. I can squat my own body weight. So I'm in shape. I mean, I'm not a bodybuilder, obviously, looking at me, but this woman's arms are bigger than mine. And why on earth are you wearing a sleeveless shirt when you have that much excess body weight on you? Like, what are you doing? And then you say, why can't I find a man? Oh man, get a clue.
Right, my friends and I, we go out in public and try to meet people that way too, or we're on the dating apps, and it's not the same. People don't.
Must not be at the gym going out trying to meet people. It doesn't. I'm pretty sure it's not at the gym. Anyway.
Approach people in public anymore. And then the dating apps, it is very much a like, oh, we're going to send 5 messages and then be done with this person and move on.
So she gets on the dating apps. Let me translate. Before she gets on the dating apps, they send about 5 messages. They see probably how she looks, and then they're like, boy, I don't know. I don't know. And she probably filters out anybody that's actually her equivalent, her on the dating apps. If she's we'll give her a 3. If she's a 3, do you think she's going for any of the 3s on the dating apps? I very much doubt it. Very much.
Dr. Bill, something very interesting. I asked these 3 women, when was the last time you were actually hit on, approached, and asked out in person? They all said back in college, high school, or even 5 years ago.
Really? So how do you go on that?
I don't know if that girl in the middle has ever been hit on or asked out in person. Now we know somebody's not telling the truth, because the slim, attractive woman on the end, she's a serial monogamist. She's monogamous in all her relationships. Okay, so somebody must be asking her out, and I'm sure they probably are.
Thanks.
I think now there is a reliance on the dating apps. I think ideally in this world, we would be set up through friends or meet people naturally in person, but that's just not happening. And that's what I was talking to Chris about yesterday. I would love to meet someone, but I'm also now comfortable by myself and independent, because I just don't know if that's going to happen for me naturally. And I'm not willing to compromise what I want.
This girl says, I am not willing to compromise on what I want. Now, I'm glad she said that, because that's the modern woman's problem. I've said this over and over again in my videos. The average woman does not want the average man. They just don't. This woman is below average. I mean, far below average. And she's saying, I am not willing to compromise what I want. She has a double chin. She's, I don't know, 100 pounds overweight. And she says, I'm not willing to compromise on what I want. Now, I don't know what she wants, but it's probably someone a lot far more attractive than she is, would be my guess. And so she'll be single the rest of her life. Have fun being a cat lady.
Not willing to compromise what I want.
Are you shocked when people put one picture up that doesn't look like them and then they show up? I always thought under promise and over deliver.
Right.
But no, seriously.
You're right.
But other people put up, it looks like their little brother.
Yeah.
And then they show up and look like Fido's ass.
Wow. So they show up, they put up their little brother. So it's all dumping on men. We'll notice now. It's all dumping on men here, that they don't put up what they actually are, And these women aren't having success on the apps either. They show up looking like the rear end of Fido. And I would say, these women, they might look like the rear end, maybe not of Fido, but of Wilbur from Charlotte's Web. I don't know. I mean, that's uncharitable. All right, well, don't print that for me. But I mean, come on, everybody, well, yeah, blah blah. Like, what are the standards of these women? Look at these women. Oh my goodness. And of course, Dr. Phil's wife, she's over here nodding and laughing in approval. It's kind of funny, like on his show now, he has to have his wife there for almost every show, nodding and laughing in approval, so that the women who, I don't know, his audience, probably 80% women, they watch and they can say, oh, okay, his wife laughs and approves, so that means we can too. We can.
Someone else and vice versa. Courtney, what do you mean?
A lot of younger people are realizing that you don't have to rush into marriage. We have a choice now, and we can go and have careers. We can focus on education. And I think that that's happening a lot more. And I think it's really important, maybe not for everyone, but to be financially independent before you consider marriage, like being able to not just start from scratch and build that. I think a lot of people are looking at that, knowing that if for some reason it doesn't work out, that they have their education to fall back on. They have those things that are lined up and in order. That way, it keeps you from being able to take care of yourself and not have to rely on someone.
So let me translate that for you. This is what Gloria Steinem said. She said, we are becoming the men we wanted to marry. This is what this woman is saying. Hey, you need to be financially independent before you even think about marriage. Translation, you need to become the man you want to marry. And then all these women, when they get that, they look around and say, why can't I find a man that I want to marry? It's because you became the man you want to marry. So be happy being single with your cats, I guess. I mean, man, this is sad. This is like really sad. You bought the wrong plan. Maybe you should turn around and say, boy, I didn't get the outcomes I wanted because I bought the wrong plan. This is not the biblical plan. This is not the patriarchal plan. This is the modern egalitarian. Get your education, become the man you wanted to marry, and then, whoops, I can't find a man I want to marry. Sorry.
Intimidate a lot of men, right? Because then they don't know what they've got to offer.
You're intimidated, then next. A lot of us from my generation.
Oh yeah, this intimidates a lot of men. Yeah, when you do this and you become the man you wanted to marry, that intimidates men. That, or it's just not attractive to men. But whenever a man says, yeah, no thanks to a woman, oh, he's intimidated. What a coward. He's intimidated. Like, get out of here.
I grew up in the Bible Belt, so we were pushed into marriage at a young age. It was as soon as you had your first serious boyfriend, people were starting to talk marriage. And instead of being like, what are you going to pursue for your education? What's your next steps in life? It's, when are you going to get married? And I think that that's not okay. That needs to change.
Well, that has changed apparently because marriage has dropped off. What do you think about?
Thank you, Dr. Phil. Thank you for being the voice of these bimbos on here. So that needs to change. This girl, she can't find a man that she wants to marry. All three of these women, they can't find men they want to marry. And this woman says, yeah, and we need to stop telling people that they just need to get married and blah, blah, blah. I mean, that needs to change. You're on a show that's talking about how that has changed, and the title is Monogamy Dead? What? Like, oh my God, what are you talking about? Oh, this is insane. Like, give me a break. This girl talking about, oh, we can't tell women that they need to get married anymore, blah, blah, blah. And now, yeah, no one's getting married. And in fact, I guess we're turning to polygamy because it's just so insane. Monogamy's dead. And yes, these three dummies are the reason why. What is it? Women killed it. If we're going to put it up somewhere. Oh my, just such craziness. Let's go.
Well, that has changed apparently because marriage has dropped off. What do you think about thruples?
I got to ask that question. It doesn't end well.
Yeah, it doesn't end well, does it?
No.
Do you know what polyamory is? It's when partners in a romantic relationship agree to date other people, and those people can date other people. And everybody's out in the open about who they're partnering with. So they don't consider it cheating. Could you handle that? Could your children handle that? Now, Jennifer, her husband of 16 years, Daniel, and her live-in boyfriend of 4 years, Ty, say they happily practice polyamory and live as a throuple. Now, that's like a couple, but three people are in the relationship. Well, I'll let them explain.
No, before they get started, you got this woman, she's got a husband and a boyfriend. And when he does, it's like we're talking about polyamory. And I just thought it was interesting that they don't have a man with two women on here. No, 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 no. We're going to go with a woman with two guys. And why is that? Because then all the other women will go, oh, well, yeah, I guess, yeah, if it's a woman who gets the two guys, then, oh, maybe it's not so bad. If they had a man that had two women, everybody would automatically go, oh, this is horrible. And they would just shut their ears off and they wouldn't listen. And I'm not saying they should listen. This is crazy nonsense. But listen, it's just funny that this is all for the woman. It's all for the woman.
Monogamy is a concept that does not fit every relationship. Definitely does not fit mine. Daniel and I got married August 8th, 2008.
We decided on polyamory after a lot of discussion.
I started developing other crushes.
They decided on polyamory after a lot of discussion. Okay, here's a translation. She wanted to have another man to get some new hot dog, and he was like, whoa, I don't want to do this. And after a lot of wearing him down, then he finally said, oh, okay.
A lot of discussion.
I started developing other crushes on someone, and then in December of 2015, when our kids were 5 and 3, we started actively doing more polyamorous dating.
I had my first polyamorous relationship in 2016.
Ty and I had about 4 or 5 dates before I brought him home to meet Daniel and the rest of my family. I think Ty's cool. Ty and I decided that we never wanted to be separated.
When Jennifer brought up the subject of Ty moving in, to me, it just made a lot of sense. But once there were 3 streams of income, the quality of life for everyone, I think, greatly improved.
If mom and dad are busy doing work, then I can just ask.
Well, when I look at this, I think, boy, did two betas make an alpha? I don't know. Is that how the math adds up? 2 betas make an alpha? How many here, put in the chat below, how many betas does it take to equal 1 alpha? Is it
Ask Ty, hey, can you check my room? Because adults check if our rooms are clean to allow us to get on screens.
It would have been pretty close to impossible to buy a house in just a monogamous relationship.
We had a down payment of more than $20,000, and we never would have been able to afford this house without Ty. I would never go back to a monogamous relationship.
Never.
Whoa.
I'm always curious about this when I talk to somebody that expands their relationship. How did you bring this up the first time? I mean, you're like sitting at dinner, lunch, and you say, say, Daniel, what would you think about dealing another guy into this? How do you bring that up?
So it didn't quite go like that, but I never cheated on Daniel, but I had been struggling just with developing not just like attraction, but actual like romantic, deep feelings for other people. And I didn't do anything about it. I didn't tell anybody. But eventually I sat down, Daniel and I were on a date, and I said, Daniel, I love you and I don't want to leave you. It wasn't that I wasn't satisfied in my relationship with Daniel, but I was like, I don't know if I can do monogamy forever. I don't know what to do with these feelings. I've never heard the word polyamory before. I grew up very conservative. And so we didn't just dive right in. I didn't have anybody in mind. We just, we went to therapy. We started reading books.
She grew up very conservatively, very conservative. So she didn't know what to do with all these feelings. Boy, I've got all these feelings and Daniel, I must do something with these feelings. Yeah, maybe they're called sinful feelings and you should repent of these feelings and be committed to your husband. How about that? That maybe we should do something with those? Yeah, I know. Okay.
Started researching. We started going to local polyamory groups, and we took it pretty seriously, like slowly and openly.
She just said a real key word in there. She said, Daniel, I love you, but. And but means, forget everything I just said. Now I'm going to tell you what I really think. And she said, I love you, but I'm having trouble envisioning being with just you for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I mean, the first conversation was surprising, but I also felt respected because if she wanted to cheat, she could have. And if she wanted to sleep around and mess around, she could have.
You felt respected? Like, wow. I don't know how how that could get more disrespectful. Hey, my husband that I've covenanted with, uh, yeah, you're not enough, and I really want to sleep around with other guys, blah blah. Like, boy, well, thank you, honey. I feel so respected now that man, the beta the betatization runs deep, my friends. Runs very deep today. Boy, I okay. Let's keep
But
going.
instead, she came to me. Instead, she talked to me. She said, I care about your feelings. And not only does she care about feelings, she values the relationship that we've already built together. And for that, I think it made all of the difference in the world. Like to be able to be honest, because we had this relationship that was built on honesty and trust. And to be able to be honest about these feelings and not break my trust, I think was huge. And I think it was the big help that conversation go well.
Do you date others?
I do.
You do. So you're part of this, sort of.
I'm in it. Like I live with Jennifer, I live with Daniel. We all contribute equally to the household and to the responsibilities for raising children, just as a part of the family as
Now this guy seems like the biggest dummy of all. Like he comes in, contributes to the household. I don't know how they have ownership. I don't know they have three people on a mortgage so that you have equal ownership of it. He helps raise children. These children aren't even his. He's just like the Johnny come lately in the story. Like what kind of beta would like what does he get out of this? I mean, I guess he gets bedroom privileges with this woman a few nights a week or something, and the door's open that he can date other people. Boy, I don't know if I understand the picture. Does anybody else understand what's going on here? I'm a little confused.
anybody else.
Do you date other people?
Very occasionally.
Oh, so this isn't just a throuple. This is a throuple plus.
I would say the people who live under our roof always take priority. We operate like a normal family. You know, we.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
I would. I would say that. I would say we operate like a normal family. You know, we take our kids to school. We prioritize our family. I meal plan each week. We do chores together. We work out how to pay bills together. We have our jobs.
How do you know where to sleep?
That's a great question.
We have a schedule.
We have a schedule. So every 2 nights, I have a little basket of like my toiletries, anything that you keep on your nightstand, the book that I'm reading, my night creams, my makeup removers, and I will take it to Ty's room, and then 2 nights later, I will take it to Daniel's room.
Are you also dating other people?
Yes.
Oh, so this is an all skate. So all three of you are seeing other people as well as each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
You say you move every 2 nights from one bedroom to another.
Yes.
What if you don't feel like moving yet? I mean, because you can't legislate emotions. You certainly can't calendar them.
My duty as, you know, the partner of both Ty and Daniel to have an egalitarian household, I take it very seriously. Only on rare occasions, like maybe somebody's birthday or something, would I ever go off the calendar, because it is so important for me to keep things fair between both Ty and Daniel. I want them to both feel loved and both feel honored and both feel respected by me.
Wow. Boy, I don't know if a lot of men in monogamous relationships get that. Like, it is my duty to be in your bedroom on these nights, blah, 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 because we are in an egalitarian relationship. Well, I guess I could. I mean, that's admirable, I suppose. Like, wow, I mean, this is bizarre, but if I don't believe her, I don't believe she's really that dedicated to it, especially if, as a mother, she has two husbands, I guess you'd call it, and she still has time to date other people. Like, what? How do you have this much time? And I'm sure she works as well. Wow. I mean, she must sleep 3 hours a day or something. I don't know.
Do you think this is healthy for your sons?
Yeah, I don't think it affects them in any way. They're more concerned about like playing, Roblox or video games or, cartoons or anything like that.
You're a newlywed.
The kids, I mean, they're so into video games, they don't know what mom and dad are doing. They're just. It's the modern family. Okay.
Yes. Seems really old and conventional now.
Not at all.
Did you guys ever talk about this at all?
No, sir, we did not. I'll be honest. It sounds exhausting. And as someone who dated, I was married, got divorced, and got remarried to this amazing, beautiful woman who I love. I don't understand.
Okay, so he's a serial monogamous too. Like, oh yeah, I got married and I got divorced and blah blah blah. And then we think like, oh, this is so bizarre that this woman's with two men. Well, it's bizarre that in our society it's so accepted to just get married and divorced, married and divorced, married and I mean, that's bizarre too. That's just serial monogamy. That's not normal. Like this isn't really monogamy.
Understand, how jealousy won't ever rear its ugly head, how someone won't get hurt at some point, and what that covenant is in this relationship.
I would say if the most thing that would cause me jealousy is like, they go to a restaurant that I want to go to with their other partner instead of me. It's nothing like, oh, I'm mad that someone else loves you. In fact, there's an emotion called compersion, which is considered the opposite of jealousy, which is that you feel good for someone else experiencing happiness. And I would say I experienced that for both Ty and Daniel, that it makes me happy that other people can love them and see them the way that I do.
You just don't want them to love them at that restaurant. What happens if you and Ty break up?
We had a long conversation on what that would look like, because once you become involved in my children's life, he is a parent to my children and he is attached to them for life. It does not matter what happens between Ty and I. He will.
Ooh, hey, you notice she said he's a parent to my children, not a parent to our children, meaning her and her husband, but he's a parent to my children. Who owns these children? She does. So you see who, from top to bottom, you see who is in charge of this polyamorous relationship. It's the woman. Like, and I think the women in the crowd are like, oh yeah, I can see how this might be okay, blah, blah, blah. If the roles were reversed, you had a man sitting in the middle and two women, all these women, their faces would be like, I mean, they would, that.
Be involved in my children's lives forever. And I know that because he has proven in past experiences, he still checks in on his ex-girlfriend's kids from past relationships. And his name, we have gone through legal documents. If something happened to both Daniel and I, our kids would go to Ty in case of custody issues. Like, this is a really serious commitment, and we took it extremely as seriously as you could take it.
Would you get nervous if they broke up? Because she said, I love you, but I need a booster.
No, I wouldn't get nervous if they broke up. I would be sad. I would also be heartbroken. I would be, doing my best to be a comfort and a resource. But yeah, I wouldn't be nervous at all. I think.
And can you get any more beta than I don't? Hey, could we give like a beta award for the year to this guy? Like, yes, I'd be heartbroken for my wife that she broke up with her boyfriend. What? Oh my goodness.
We have, like, Jennifer and I's relationship has never felt more reliable.
And I would say I'm just as committed to Jennifer as if I were married to her. In the event that there's any sort of insane disagreement that we would break up, I would still take on that responsibility to ensure that the kids are taken care of, ensure that finances are secure, that no one gets the boot, essentially, in that way.
Well, we'll stop it there. I mean, is monogamy dead? We had the three single women. Well, I mean, one was a serial monogamous, and we had the polyamorous people on here. Is monogamy dead? I would say, yeah, maybe it is, and women killed it. Like, wow, what an insane Dr. Phil show. Dr. Phil, he's just asking the question on here. Well, is romance dead? Forget about romance. Is sanity dead? I mean, I would ask that. Is sanity dead here now? Now, I mean, we can go back to the Old Testament where monogamy was not the standard, that many men in the Old Testament who were godly men were polygamous, and there's still, quite a bit of debate there on, well, is this right, wrong, blah, blah, blah. When we get to the New Testament, we know there's things said there that seem to set the standard as monogamous or set the standard for monogamy. But then how do we deal with the righteous men of the Old Testament? A lot of debate there. I'm not going to debate that right now. But it seems like maybe, actually, as I was thinking for this polygamous or polyamorous couple with the woman and two men, maybe it is better for her kids for her to just explore her whatever. And she actually keeps the father of her children in the household. Like, maybe in some kind of insane world, that's actually better than divorcing. Now he gets to see his kids 50% of the time at best. And that's best case scenario. So I don't know. I mean, in the insane world we live in, maybe maybe what she has is better than just kicking the husband out of the home, and or better for the kids at least than just kicking him out of the home. I don't know. I mean, boy, we got to get this turned around. It's just craziness. We got to get back to patriarchy. It's the biblical way. And I'll end it with this again, that even with all the craziness, Christ is winning. He is building his church, and the gates of hell will not prevail against it. Until next time, this is Post Millennial Man.